Originally, I wanted to build Salamence VMAX with Mismagius, but with Mismagius getting banned in a week, it seemed like not a great idea. So I decided to just build a Salamence VMAX Welder deck, and it's actually pretty good. It can handle single prize decks like Mad Party and Spiritomb thanks to the spread capabilities of both Salamence V and the VMAX. With the baby Salamence V with Swoop Across, you do 30 damage to each of your opponent's Pokemon, and then Sonic Double, this attack does 40 damage to 2 of your opponent's Pokemon. I do wish that both of them were better. I wish Swoop Across was, like for 2 energy you do this, or it's for 3 energy you do 40, and then with Sonic Double it's 2 energy and you do 40 damage to 3 Pokemon or all Pokemon. It always seems to come up short. But if you're able to do it properly, if you plan out your spreading and you do everything and you use max wings properly for 240, you can do some things. And while Salamence VMAX isn't tier 1 or probably even tier 2, it can hold its own against top decks like ADPization and Centiskorch, which is a good thing because that's pretty much all I'm facing these days. Elsewhere in the deck, I added Blacephalon-GX and Victini V. I just wanted to add them in the deck to give the deck a little bit more dimension, but I never really use them, so don't be surprised if they don't come into play. If you're building this deck and you want to take it online, I think going hard on Super Scoop Up and Welder with maybe, a Mewtwo and a Scoop Up net or a Palpad or something, or, probably not 2 Eldegoss V. 1 Eldegoss V I think is fine. But the Scoop Up Welder strategy is probably the best thing, but when I'm testing and showcasing brand new decks, I do like showing what works and what doesn't. So let's see if this idea works. Okay. This being a Welder deck, you always want to go second. I know this is an evolution, but it doesn't matter. It has Welder, it has Volcanion, you want to go second. And I've been messing with the counts of everything in this deck for pretty much after every game I changed one thing at least. I had 4 Volcanion and 4 Jirachi to start things off. Wow, okay. If I had Welder, I would have started Salamence, but I don't have Welder. I had 4 Jirachi, 4 Volcanion, 3 Salamence V. I cut it down to 2 Salamence V, 2 Salamence VMAX because, hey, Heat Factory, thank you. That'll help me quite a bit. If they knock out 2 Salamence VMAX, that's pretty much game. And with the Super Scoop Up strategy, it would, this gets a little dicey. It's not a great matchup, but I am going second, so that will definitely help. The heat energy is not good, but I can definitely do some things. I just need to hopefully get Volcanion. Heatran's going to be important. I don't know, I did beat Centiskorch VMAX earlier today when I was testing, but it's still really tough. That's really good. Okay, just give me a Welder and I'm happy. That is a research. That is the opposite of happy. Okay. Give me a Welder. Nope. Okay, well I have a Quick Ball, so that's good enough. So I do have some things I have to do. I think ditching the Jirachi is a good idea. Putting the Volcanion down. So Heatran's going to be important. Victini V, if they get 10 energy on a Centiskorch, then I can knock it out with Victini. That's another reason why I added Victini is pretty much just for the Centiskorch matchup. And this is tough. I don't play a ton of fire energy. I only play about 10. So if I just put a ton in the discard, that's really bad. I think the Crobat is annoying for them if it's in the active, but I also need to put some damage on some things. So I think I want that in the active. I will... Oh man, this is really tough. Because whatever I do, I think it's the wrong option. I think I'm going to research. Please don't give me a handful of energy. Perfect. This is a horrible hand. How did things get worse? I just needed like one more Pokemon and I would have been fine. Okay. Things are dicey. And I think... So I beat Centiskorch VMAX earlier. It's really not easy. I had to trap their Heatran. They had just gone all the way through all of their... What did they go through? They went through all of their switches. Oh, thank you. And then right after I faced ADPization, they just had a big hand. I had no way of disrupting it, so I added a reset stamp. And they played Big Charm. And just the way the math works, you do 240 with Salamence VMAX, and then you can Sonic Double for 40. That's 280. Oh. Okay, well I have 3 energy in there. That is perfect. So I think this is going to be a Salamence VMAX kind of day. Okay, so I will Fire Crystal. Think I'm just going to, yeah, because I want to protect the energy as much as possible. There's a bosses, there's a flint. I only play the 1 crystal, so this isn't, a great situation to be in. I have the Super Scoop Up. I don't really want to do anything there. I think I just hit into this. And yeah, I don't want to use the Heat Factory. Just want to High Heat Blast and see what happens. And what I've found is that Tool Scrapper is pretty much 100% necessary in Volcanion decks now. Because, when rotation hits, and right now there's Metal Frying Pan. When rotation hits, there's going to be Big Charm. And, maybe Cape of Toughness gets a little bit more play. But Volcanion knocks out a Zacian V. That's just it. Zacian V is weak to fire. Volcanion does 110 if you have 4 energy. And yes, put as much energy on this as you want. Just build it all the way up. Put 100 energy on it. Oh, that's annoying. But I have the Tool Scrapper. So it's not the worst thing in the world. And if they can't switch, that's even better. This is pretty much what happened in my previous matchup is I managed to get something bulky in the active and they couldn't switch. But I'm guessing they're probably going to go for a Dedenne, and that'll kind of be it. Oh, they're getting a Volcanion, so they're probably using Dedenne right now. Oh, okay. So I have options. I can bosses nobody, because that would be stupid. I can Fiery Flint. I don't want to do that either. Okay, how much energy? I don't really have a ton of energy left in my deck, so I think I'm just going to Welder 1 to this guy. Have just the beefiest Heatran in the world when I eventually get there. And sure, I'll put Jirachi in there. I will save the Pokégear. Yeah, because I have Flint, so I'll just Pokégear, and then if I need a Welder, that'd be great. I can't search my deck, so that's a little annoying. I could swoop across. If I swoop across, that's not the worst thing in the world, because it does soften this thing up, and it just puts things in range. You know what? I don't think they got it. I don't think you got it like that. You don't got it. I'm using swoop across. I may regret that, but the odds that they have something right now are pretty low, but it's looking like, okay, they're just going to Heat Factory. I should have grabbed the Hearth. Like I said, you have a chance against Centiskorch and ADPization, these top decks in the format. Oh, I didn't realize that hadn't evolved. That is one thing that bothers me about Centiskorch, is that the cards look exactly the same. Like, you look at this, and then you look at this. This is the full art. This is the regular art. They look exactly the same. And that really gets me sometimes. So they are just building that thing all the way up. And I do need to have, okay, there's a Salamence VMAX. It is boss's order in time, I think. So if I boss's orders that, I can use Max Wings. I know they have a Mallow and Lana, but if they want to knock this out, they have to do a ton of things. Or I can just Heatran. That is also an option. Because how much are they doing? They're doing 360, right? Because it's 40 plus. 8 times 4 is... Yeah, so they're knocking out Salamence VMAX regardless of what I do. Okay, so let's just Pokégear, see what we get. So we have that. I think I Flint away Pokégear and the Big Charm because they're probably not going to come into play. I only have 1 energy left. That is tough. So if I want to knock this out with Victini... Okay, so I think right now I'm going to... Oh, this is tough. Because I can I'm going to Welder to the Victini. I'm not going to do anything past that. I'm going to pretend like, oh no, the Victini, don't knock that out, because I really went a little crazy with energy. So I think I take the knockout with Volcanion right now. There's a reset stamp. There's a counter gain. The counter gain is really good. Okay, the reset stamp should be fine for later. Okay, so I have one more fire energy somewhere, and I need to see it. There it is. Okay, so I can knock it out with Victini, or at least get it super close to being knocked out. And I also make this Victini a huge target, and that is what I want. I want the Victini to be targeted because, yes, go after Victini. Yes, they went after. They took the bait. Oh, that's a little annoying. That is actually really annoying. And they have their own Heatran, but I'm knocking this thing out with my Heatran, and then I'm going to reset stamp. Ooh. Okay. They put an extra energy on it. That's fine. So this is tough because actually I think maybe I just bosses the Volcanion. Actually, no, because I don't have that GX. I mean, if I take this knockout, the odds of them getting a Welder are extremely low. And I have 8, and how many hit points does this freaking thing have? It has 380, so I need 7. Well, I think I'm going to... Okay, this is tough because I can retreat. This is horrible. Okay. Well, let's go get the Heatran, see what happens. So I need to do 350, so if I can retreat or I can Super Scoop Up, and I think Super Scoop Up is the smarter idea, because I just need 7, right? 7 is 350, they have 360, so I just need to hit one of these Super Scoop Ups. Perfect. And then I think I have to reset stamp them. So there's the knockout there. I think I have to reset stamp them. Okay, and then I'm pretty sure I should just hot burn for the knockout. And then if they don't have a Welder or anything to recover from, I'm golden. But even if I end up losing this one, okay, that's great. Because I know I still have a triple acceleration energy. You know, there's a reason I play the triple acceleration energy and the powerful energy, is they just really help out. You know, the triple, it's so fun weldering one to a Salamence VMAX and then being like, oh man, I don't got the energy, and then just triple acceleration energy, 240 damage. You know, you can go from a 0 energy Salamence VMAX, and, you know, that's why I have the counter gain as well. Uh-oh. Well, actually, that's totally fine. I have bosses on the Volcanion. They're only doing 150. If they can't disrupt my hand, and that's a well played. And I bosses the Volcanion, and yeah, Heatran came up big. I mean, I could, you know, I could try and get that to a triple acceleration energy, but I don't want to waste their time. But yeah, Heatran is the MVP, and that's why I only play a 2-2 Salamence instead of a 3-3, is because you want to have room for that Heatran. You know, you can get rid of Blacephalon and maybe Victini, but Victini, the reason this is in the deck, is just for Centiskorch. You know, maybe you can use Spreading Flames at one point. I have done that. But you saw it play out exactly how I thought it would. You put Victini V in the deck, you only need 2 energy, you wait for them to build up their Centiskorch VMAX to like 10 energy, and then you just say, okay, if you don't knock out Victini V, I am knocking you out next turn. And they target it, and they just put themselves in such a hole that they couldn't dig themselves out of it. So that was a great game from Salamence Welder. I will go to game 2, and hopefully Salamence VMAX is the MVP and not Heatran. Remember in the opening when I said it hangs in there against Centiskorch VMAX and ADP? Well, the first match was Centiskorch. Matches 2 and 3 were against Zacian ADP. Oh, this is interesting. So matches number 2 and 3 that I played while filming were against ADPization, but both of my opponents went first, started a Rangaroo, got nothing else, and then that was game. But this is Eternatus. I think I have a horrible matchup against Eternatus. Okay, so if I would like to hit this Super Scoop Up. I would also like to, I have a Welder, so I can ditch the Pokégear. I think I just get Crobat. Definitely get Crobat. Maybe ditch the Dedenne, but I might need that later. You know, I don't want to take the risk here, so I'll just try Super Scoop Up. It did work, that's good. So I have 2 Super Scoop Ups left. Need to remember that. Hopefully I get an energy here. I did, and I got a Hearth. Okay, so I think here okay, Dedenne or Quick Ball? I think if I ditch the Dedenne, I lose some explosiveness, but I can Welder to my Salamence. I can get somebody. I think this is the safe bet. You know, I haven't really played against. Okay. All right, so I guess I just go get. I can get Jirachi, or I can get somebody else that I want to actually accelerate energy to. Because Eternatus isn't really going to have anything crazy going on. They could just take a knockout next turn. And I don't really have anybody set up for that. You know, I'm going to go for Jirachi. Maybe this is the dumb play. I haven't tested against Eternatus VMAX enough with this deck to really know what to do. All I know is that... Okay, so I have Counter Gain, Quick Ball. I can Quick Ball the Fire Crystal, but that seems kind of sketchy. Especially with what I'm about to be doing. So I think I just go get Quick Ball right now. So this is going to be, you know, this is the crazy thing about Pokemon cards. Is something so minor at the very beginning of the game is what could come back to bite me. So I think I grab 3 and I just say I'm going to Heatran at some point. That's what I have to say, is I'm going to Heatran at some point. That's why I'm spreading out the energy. I think I just have to, you know, I'm Heatraning. That's how I'm knocking out this Eternatus VMAX, or maybe their second Eternatus VMAX. So I think that's what I have to do. And you're sort of seeing why I don't like Salamence VMAX and the Salamence V's spreading capabilities. Swoop Across is really good. You know, I thought about playing Memory Energy just because I wish Salamence VMAX could use Swoop Across. You know, I can't remember the name of Salamence VMAX's attack. It does 40 damage to 2 Pokemon. It isn't better than Swoop Across. Swoop Across is 30 damage to each. Why can't Salamence VMAX just have, you know, 40 damage to each or 50 damage to each? Why is it just so underpowered? It's really disappointing. And then, you know, Salamence VMAX has a 1 energy attack cost and then a 4 energy attack. I don't like how the card was created. You know, it has so much potential. There we go. So it's Sonic Double. Yeah, it's 40 to 2. I really don't think that's very good. And okay, maybe I want to go for the knockout right now. Okay, if I ditch a Super Scoop Up, I'm pretty much locked in to what I've got right now, and I think that's okay. What do we got? A Heat Factory? Okay, that's fine. I can knock out an Eternatus V, or I can do 240 to that one, so we'll see what happens. So how much energy is in the discard? I have 2 in the discard, that's fine. So I have a boss's orders. I think, they can't, unless they get some more crazy Zigzagoon plays, they can't do anything. So what do I do? This is another tricky situation to be in. I can put 240 on this thing and then knock it out next turn with Switch and stuff. Or I can just knock out an Eternatus V and slow them down next turn, because they're probably going to have an energy. Now I'm regretting ditching the Super Scoop Up. Now that I went with this line of play, I should have saved the Super Scoop Up. Super Scoop Up is super important with Salamence VMAX because you want to just bring it back into your hand, welder some energy back in, At the moment, I am dangerously close to just putting myself out of doing anything just with the amount of energy that I could lose. The good thing is they can only do 270. So they do 270. They would need 3 more Zigzagoon, 3 more Scoop Up Net, some combination there. That is definitely a possibility. And it's definitely scary. But so what are they planning? Just, I don't really know. The Zigzagoon is what is going to be most important to them, which is kind of funny. Okay, so they have a Crobat, so they have to rely on at least 1 Scoop Up Net. Oh, here we go. If they just have it, they don't need a whole lot else. They're going for another Zigzagoon, so they need a Scoop Up Net. Please tell me they prizes it. Oh my goodness, no way. This is crazy. Okay, they have a Marnie, they just need a Scoop Up Net, and they're taking a massive knockout. Please don't tell me you got a Scoop Up Net. There's Black Market. Okay, so they don't take the knockout. But my hand is horrible. Actually, no, it's not. Okay, so I go get Welder. I Fire Crystal. This has to be the greatest Welder in the history of Welders. I mean, even if it's just a Heatran, no, that wouldn't be very helpful. So I need to put the energy somewhere. Let's put it on Eldegoss, because why not? That is unfortunate. So I need you to be a quick ball. How? Well, at least I can knock out their Eternatus VMAX. But that's about all I can do. So that is tough. I wish I could float up, but I can't. So at this point, I'm just hoping that they can't find a Scoop Up Net or something. Am I down both my stadiums? No, so I still have Heat Factory. That is somewhat comforting. And you're seeing sort of something that could have played out is I could have used Swoop Across and then Sonic Double, and I could have taken 2 knockouts, but that would have been real bad. And, oh, they do have to discard. They didn't set up another VMAX, so they have to discard 3 bench Pokemon. Because, 2 bench Pokemon. Okay, so you put it in the active first, and then the effect activates. That seems... If this ability to discard from your bench, that seems... The sequencing on that seems wrong, though, because... But I guess the action has to finish. I don't know. I feel like it should be you have to discard your bench because it's out of play. Or does it that it has to resolve? They have to resolve the knockout, and when you resolve a knockout, you put something in the active. I don't know. That seems a little different. But the black market, that just was huge for them. Because at this point, I'm not 2 VMAX knockouts away from winning. And there's a Piers, so it's looking like they will have to take the knockout with Eternatus, probably Eternatus V, and they'll just set up one in the back. Okay, so how do I take this knockout without just losing the game? I don't think I do. Yeah, they didn't evolve, so now I can't do any shenanigans. So what can I do here? There's a quick ball that would have helped me before. I do need a Hearth, or the Heat Factory. There's Flint and Big Charm. Unfortunately, I don't have anyone who can survive a 270 hit. How much energy do I have left? I have 4, so I should have some energy left in my deck. Okay, so I don't think I need the Escape Board or the Jirachi, so I'm gonna take a chance here and get rid of these 2, because the Pokégear, I kind of want to use the Pokégear to thin some people. I prized energy. I prized a lot of energy. Okay. Well, that's not good. There's a bosses. So how exactly does this work? I mean, I have to welder and bosses in the same term, and you can't do that, so... Well, let's do this, right? There's a Tool Scrapper. I still don't have the card that I need. So I think I'm just kind of out of this one here. The other thing I could try and do, no, I can't do that. Put the Victini down, that's not really going to matter. I mean, okay, I can't do that. Tool Scrapper doesn't matter. I can put the Heatran into play and take a knockout, but that's about all I can do. Okay, well, let's do this. Let's just put a Salamence V into play. I guess I just attacked with Volcanion or something? I don't know. Prizing 2 energy definitely hurts though. And not being able to play my Reset Stamp, that also hurts. Yeah, I think Eternatus is not a plus matchup, to put it mildly. And, oh, they play that Weavile, okay. That's interesting. Are they going to attack with that Weavile? Because I don't think there's anything I can do to win other than stamp them. That's about it. You know, if I can get off a Reset Stamp and I don't even know what at this point. Because this is the freaking black market. If it wasn't for that one card, I would have a chance. But, you know, let me know in the comments, if you're still watching the video at this point, what could I have done differently to win this? You know, with the cards I have in the deck, and you could say, well, you should put this card in there. I think that a million times. They play the counter gain as well. You know, should I have used Heatran earlier? You know, should I have... Oh, the Heat Factory's down, so I didn't realize that. You know, I always forget about Black Market. It is staying in the format, which is kind of nuts. You know, this stadium is going to be here for another year. Well, there's a Welder, so I can't do anything. Can I at least get a Heatran just to make this? Nope, can't do it. Oh, well, actually, I could scoop up the Crobat or something. At least let me do this. Nope, okay. Well, I can... is there anything with a heavy retreat cost? I mean, I can bosses that and see what happens, I guess, right? They don't have a switch. Well, actually, maybe I should have... Okay, that was stupid. I should have put the counter gain on the Victini. You know, I know they're going to have a switch or a hiding energy or something, so it doesn't really matter, but... Oh, I didn't even realize it was weak to that. But yeah, in hindsight, I should have put the counter gain on Victini and used Spreading Flames. That would have been the thing to do, but yeah, they had a way to retreat. I knew that for sure. And that is a loss for the Salamence VMAX deck, but at least Salamence VMAX was the MVP. And I can't see their list, but they did over 1,000 damage. That was fun. And let's see. Yeah, so I cut it down to 3 Jirachi, 3 Volcanion. Used to be 4/4. That was too much. Blacephalon-GX, I don't think it needs to be in here. You can probably cut that, especially with rotation. Victini V, I think you keep just for the Centiskorch VMAX matchup. Heatran, best GX attack you can use. Eldegoss, Crobat, and Dedenne, I think you need all 3. Unfortunately, Super Scoop Up is rotating, but I think 4 of them in the deck is still a good idea. And then you need Reset Stamp and Tool Scrapper just to shore up some of your tough matchups. And, you know, I play 3 Pokégear. Maybe you should play something else like the Mewtwo and the Scoop Up Net. Maybe Scoop Up Net and just Jirachi is enough to just hunt down your Welders. Because Pokégear, you know, you whiff Pokégear and it's the worst thing in the world. And the powerful energy, you can probably cut that. The extra 20 damage, I mean, sometimes it can make a difference, but you're probably better off having 11 fire energy and 1 triple acceleration. But overall, I do like the deck. I like Salamence. I don't love it. It could be so much better. Sonic Double is disappointing. Max Wings is also disappointing. 4 energy for 240. That is, I mean, Zacian V does 230 for 3 energy, and it has the same negative effect, but that's just a basic V. And it's like, well, why does this get the short end of the stick here? And why is Heavy Storm 160 for 4 energy? I wish the card was slightly better and it could be really competitive. But again, you saw it, you know, it beat Centiskorch VMAX. If maybe I knew a little bit more about the Eternatus matchup, I would have been able to win that, or if I just drew slightly better, but I definitely lost that one, and don't notice my spelling mistake in the title there. But other than that, I'll leave the list in the description, and I'll sign off now. Thanks for watching. I will see you next time.